All right. Hi, class. My name is Bowen Davison. I'm a sophomore, and my major is health science. Um, so, when I went ahead and started doing my draft for this, I actually had no idea what I was going to choose or what route I was going to take to do this. Um, I like reading and writing about history the most, so something I hardly ever see. And what I noticed on one of the modules that we did was how fast that the religion Islam is growing. So I chose to do that because that interested me right when I heard that, and I had no idea why. But knowing that religion is a very touchy subject in today's world, I didn't want to go in to this paper and make it seem like I was going to make it seem like this is why, this is the reasons, and this is how it is growing so fast. So I went up the approach and made the topic more of a wanting the reader to think for themselves and take the facts that I chose to put in my paper and really think about them themselves and make their own decision at the very end. So when I was trying to lay this paper out on a rough draft, it was very difficult for me to get all my ideas in one place and then lay it out. So it took me quite a while to figure that out. So the way I found my topic or my facts for my paper was a little on the difficult side as well, because it was really hard to distinguish between what was a good source, what was a bad source, and it also took me a while to figure those ones out and make sure I found the correct facts. So, I mean, if I found a fact on one site, I would go to my next source and scroll through it and see if it had the exact same thing or something very similar to it. And I try to put each fact in my own words. Ones that really shocked me the most was like either on like the .coms, which is always a bad idea to choose those anyways, but sometimes they had the same facts as like a scholarly source or on someone else's paper that was also published and had good credit. Then when I used my sources, I made sure I cited them all correctly, and then that was also difficult because like I've never really known off the top of my head how to put things in either APA format or MLA format, and I've always used a website to cite my sources for me, and then I had to go back and correct them myself. So like I said, when I made my paper, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't stepping over anybody's shoes if you are Muslim or if you do practice the religion of Islam. I didn't want to make my paper seem like I was degrading or promoting. I wanted to have this paper in the neutral ground, so I don't want to express that enough, so I don't get hate for it. But some of the things that I found very interesting and exciting about my paper was some of the things that they do for this religion. Like one of the most exciting things that I read about was their pilgrimage to Mecca, which is one of their most sacred things that they do, because like it is required by everyone that follows this religion that they make this trip at least once in their life. Why only once in their life is because it's very expensive. Like you can spend thousands of dollars from donating. On the first and then on the last day there, they do the stoning of the devil, which they throw pebbles at this statue at this pillar that represents Satan, and I thought that was very interesting. And then during their ritual prayer or a salat, which is performed 5 times a day, prayers are offered throughout dawn, noon, mid-afternoon, sunset, and night, which allows them to physically and mentally take a break from their worldly activities and stresses of the day to connect with God several times a day. the prayers consist of either standing or bowing, it doesn't matter, and then maintaining the practices of Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, and all of the other prophets. And another thing that they do for their religion is that they have laws, or it's what is it? Let me see here. It's and Islam has a law by the name of Sharia, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and it means the Islamic legal system derived from religious prophet or precepts of Islam, particularly from their Quran or the Hadith. The Quran is it's their book. So like how we have the Bible, the Quran is like their Bible, and hopefully I'm not butchering that either out in the pronunciation. But the Quran takes a complete text and gives a message of hope, faith, and peace to a community of the entire people. The overwhelming message is that peace is to be found through faith, along with this book of guidance God sent their prophet Muhammad. Muhammad was a big part of the teaching of Islam because his life was pretty much the Quran, the Quran, their book. He understood it, he loved it, and he lived his life based on its standards. So I know I don't have a visual aid because I'm taking this video off of my phone. I have a really crappy laptop that doesn't have a webcam, otherwise I would, so I apologize for that. And if points are docked, then I'm sorry. Another reason why I'm taking this off my phone is because my laptop and my internet is down at the moment. I should have emailed you and I didn't, and I apologize. And I apologize to the class too for probably wasting their time watching this video when I don't have all the material that's needed. And I hope everybody's being safe. What else am I supposed to go over? So like I said, I mean, with the conclusion of my paper, I left it open-ended, because I don't want people thinking that I'm being down on the religion or I'm promoting it. I wanted the reader to make their own decision on why it is growing so rapidly. Could have been like celebrities like Mike Tyson, or could it have been the population birth, like the growth of their population? And I mean, to be honest, it's really hard to say what it is. With all the research that I did, I still can't give a complete answer of why Islam is growing as fast as it is. It's the second biggest religion in the world, and by the year 2030, it'll be the biggest religion on the planet, which is very mind-blowing. And because not being from the other side of the ocean or being a follower of that religion, the only religion that I really know about is Christianity, being a Christian, or Catholic, because that's the main two that you really hear about, being from Missouri. So it was really cool to take on this challenge of writing a paper of a religion that I had no idea about. So thank you.